Welcome to Module 5, Overview of 6 Common Marketing Tactics. In this module, we're going to look at 6 of the most common marketing tactics that we see successful micro-entrepreneurs using. I want to be clear, this does not represent all marketing tactics available to you. Just 6 that we see that people are successful with that are fairly straightforward in their use and bring back results. They're also low cost, relatively, and some of them are even free, like Facebook and personal selling and so forth. In Module 4, we did the foundation work for you to use these tactics. In Module 4, we were looking at what's the problem that you see your customer having, what's your solution that you give them. Remember, you have to have an outcome in whatever it is that you're selling that your customer can actually feel, perceive in some way, that they actually can say, yes, I've benefited from that. Once you understand what that is, then you can start getting ready to actually broadcast that solution to your market. So here we have 6 common tactics. Number 1, and these aren't going to be in a particular order for the presentation, is word of mouth. Word of mouth is one of the most common things we hear people talk about when we talk about what are you doing for marketing. The thing I want you to get around for this concept, in the case that we're using it here, is that word of mouth is an active strategy. It's not about waiting for your customer to actually tell their friend or family, people in their network, about your great service. You want to find ways to influence that activity. It's an active process rather than a passive one. Second one is networking. Networking is about making connections with people that are important to you, people that are either potential customers or have the ability to refer other customers to you. Most new micro-entrepreneurs look at networking events and it's all about the sale. It's all about prospecting then and there. The real benefits from networking come when you actually connect with someone, and we're going to talk about that. One of the early skills that we see developed in micro enterprises in the first year or two is personal selling. It's pretty straightforward. When you're in front of someone, a conversation is something that most micro entrepreneurs can deal with. So we'll see that people, once they get in front of a potential customer, they do pretty well in actually presenting their case to them, answering questions and so forth. But there's actually more to it than that. There's actually answering a common set of questions that you're going to see again and again and again, and how you facilitate that buying process for the customer. We're going to talk about that there. We're going to touch on website marketing. The trick here is, and we through our IDA program seen a lot of folks actually fund websites, thousands of dollars. They look nice, but they don't get a lot of traffic to them. There's 2 things you have to remember about website marketing that we're going to cover. First, you have to get people to your site. And second, once they get there, they have to do something. And you design that process of what they do. Doing those 2 things, the phone should ring. That's what we're looking for. We'll talk about that in website marketing. Targeted ads. We're basically looking at low-cost methods of getting the word out, mostly around generating leads, which we'll get into more. But there are ways that you can actually measure the results. And it's called a call to action. So we basically want to set up in our ads the key benefit, the thing that your product or service does best, and a call to action to that. And we'll talk about the structure of targeted ads. And finally, we're going to talk about Facebook. A lot of people are on there, and I hear this often about people trying to understand Facebook. Doesn't really work with them. They get likes and so forth. It's kind of a mystery. We're going to try to clarify that somewhat in this module. Now, all of that said, these are going to be basic touches on each of these topics. These are not going to be in-depth treatments of them, but I am going to give you some resources that if you want to look further, you can.